Do we just repeat the same scene? You get fucking cubed. If you watched the movie Cube, you know what that is. Oh, right. I'll use all the memories. He was in there. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. We are in Season 2. We are on Episode 17. I believe where we left off was with the ending of the Jogo versus Sukuna fight, where, of course, Sukuna proved that they were better than Jogo. Like, wasn't even debatable. I guess the idea was, can Jogo lay a finger on Sukuna? Irony of ironies. And he could not. But then we had like a little scene at the end where Jogo is like shedding tears and he is with, we got the plant one, Hakuna? Hakuna? God, I don't have the board up, so this is all from memory. And who else was there? Sorry, anyway, with the dead companions, and they're making the implication that, Mahito could turn out to be the strongest of them all, which I guess feels weird to me, but there's also the element of the fact that Sukuna is in a human body, so I guess it's possible they could do something, but they've already proven before that when Mahito tried to futz with Yuji's spirit, that Sukuna prevented it too, so I don't think there's anything Mahito could do to Sukuna. It just doesn't feel like it's on the table. There's also the element of Ghetto's former assistants, the people that showed up in the movie, right? How just about all of them are now dead because they were present in the district when the fight happened, and the district basically turned into any scene from the end of the first season of Invincible, right? It just got friggin' destroyed. So most of them are dead. Um, except for obviously the guy who went with what's his name from the movie, because we saw they're in a different country, and Lori, who appeared to say that they weren't going to get involved in this, but once again, the thing that made seemed very obvious to me at the next time on preview, it really feels like Lori is going to show up here anyway. It's either that or it's somebody else. It's somebody I'm unprepared for. But I'm pretty sure Lori's going to show up here. Now, I do not recall what Lori's powers are or abilities, but it very much seemed like they're in a secondary form. Again, in the preview, uh, that we've never seen them in before, implying that they could be stronger than they were in the movie. Like they were just holding time in the movie. Well, we know actually that they were only delaying in the movie, so the idea that he could be stronger, and I think that was a complication from the group meeting that they all had when he said he wasn't going to go there, that he might have been the strongest one of them, which could be why you would hold him off till the end. If I'm right, of course. If it's not Lori, then it doesn't matter. Other than that, the guy with the sword hand thing, think he's back again too, which I guess implies our 9 to 5er. By the way, I know he has a name, but I have been calling him 9 to 5er since the first time we met him. So, in my head, no matter what attempt I would do at trying to remember his name, 9 to 5er is who he is. Other than that, though, I mean, I don't know where a lot of these people have gone. What was his name? Choso? Chiso? I don't know what's happened to Chiso. Like, Chiso wandered off after the fight, and we had that whole mental thing about, like, them seeing a different past and whatnot, and then they wandered off, and fuck off, I know where they are. Like, we haven't gone back to them. Same as, like my and little brother. There's so many fights going on here that we just like lose people for entire episodes. So I assume these things are to come back into the fold at some point. The main concern here, though, is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more episodes after this. 6 more episodes to wrap up all of these storylines. Not impossible, but what I feel like if I'm gonna compare this to another shonen, right? I would say this is like the Soul Society arc from Bleach, where like 5 different groups of characters are all having fights at the same time, and it doesn't feel like we're gonna end it really quick. But then all of a sudden, Rukia goes to get sacrificed, and everybody just appears at the Sarate, like all at the same time. It's entirely possible that we don't finish these fights and that everybody appears at the same location at once, just so that we get resolve this before the end of the season. And that's what I kind of anticipate is going to be coming. Oh yeah, that's right. Also, Toji stabs himself in the head. That also happened last episode. Very important, very touching scene, I want to say. I'm rambling. I think the only thing to do here is really just to get into the episode and see where we go from here.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, Grandpa. Okay, I guess that's the implication that Yuji is still in there. Because we know he's supposed to be coming back into the fold. I think the thing that was implied, though, is the element of the fact that once some of his Shikigami die, the rest of them get the powers of the one that died. I'm with this guy right now. I don't know what Megumi is playing at. So something that's feral, or?
なんで五条家と全員家が仲悪いか知ってる？そもそも仲悪かったんですか？もうバチバチよ。江戸時代？慶長？忘れたけど、そん時当主同士がね、御前試合で本気でやり合って、両方死んだの。その時の当主って？僕と同じ陸眼持ちの無加減呪術使い。ちなみに相手の術式はめぐみと同じ。
Is this going to tell me why Megumi is supposed to be so
僕の
strong.
言いたいことわかる？
だからってあんたに勝てる術師になれる
Yeah,
かよ
what can Megumi do that could
その
defeat
当主も
Gojo?
こういう使い方をしたんだろう古べゆらゆら
少な様
休養だ
Oh yeah, also this character that we've seen like
俺が自
2 to 3 times the entire series.
話ではない夢準備を怠るなまたな裏梅
御意にお待ち申しております
At least not for nothing, they're able to kneel on basically lava. So they're not normal.
やられた儀式を俺を巻き込んで二人で強制的に始めやがった
That's like the thing from Final Fantasy X.
異界新書マコラ
It's like Anathema, I think, from Final Fantasy X.
後でな
おい
悪い虎杖
おいクソ野郎先に行くせいぜい頑張れ
As I was saying, summoning a feral thing that you have no ability to control.
待って
So I was completely wrong about Lori then. Never mind.
ふざけんなよこんなくそ起きろよクソ術師
呪詛師重も春太の術式は日常の小さな奇跡を記憶から抹消し蓄えるその蓄えは目元の文様に現れ命に関わる局面で放出される
So he escaped death 6 times.
本人はそれを自覚していない
Although he has all 6 marks still under his eyes.
なるほどやはりこのゴミを助けたのは正解だったなおそらく道連れの形で長伏の儀に巻き込んだのだろうこのゴミも死ねば儀式終了伏黒めぐみの死も確定してしまう死ぬなお前にはやってもらわねばならんこと
So
が
it's
あ
only
る
possible that Megumi could die after this thing goes away?
黙れ
Like a Schrodinger's cat summon?
伏黒めぐみを生かすには異分子の俺がこの式神を倒し長伏の儀をなかったこととする味見といったところだな
What the hell even is this thing? I mean, like, everything else that he summons is like a friggin' animal of some sort. This thing is like... Bug face man? I don't know what I'm looking at.
Kai
Again, though, the implication that it was able to defeat a Gojo ancestor with the powers of Gojo?
あの刃対呪霊に特化した大麻の剣
Or did he get thrown into a movie theater and just took the food with him?
俺が呪霊なら最初の一撃で消し飛んでいたなまずいやるか
I I mean, this isn't fully powered up Sukuna, so... It is high-level regen Sukuna, though. I thought I saw him, like, throw a finger away, but when did he lose a foot? I mean, this is a badass fight, but I don't know how this thing beat a gojo power user. Because legit, these are all just physical attacks. Gojo's infinity thing would have stopped this.
Ho? 何かしたな?
Yeah, if you can't see shit, that would be scary. Looking out the window and just watching all this happen to these buildings. I'm sorry, when did I start watching Mob 100? I mean, I have to imagine that regeneration is just something at a certain level that everybody's got. Even Jogo can regenerate. How are you getting restrained? Again, I'm just slightly confused at how this thing could have defeated anybody with Gojo's powers. Because all of his powers seem to be physical hits. Infinity would have defeated that. Oh, sucks to be that guy. It doesn't even look like he's regenerating. It looks like he's just like putting himself completely back together again. Like he just appears full. Like he's rewinding time back to a certain point. Yeah, it has to be the wheel thing. You'd have to think that Sukuna has hit the wheel already. I will say sometimes I'm just too dumb for the powers of the show. Given a bow. Well, a bad time to have been flying over Japan, I guess. Thank God there was nobody on the plane. Fucking insane fight. I can't fucking imagine any character other than Gojo surviving this fight. Certainly not Mahito. Obviously also Sukuna. Yeah, see, the wheel turns.
ヤマタノオロチに近いものだな。俺の斬撃を見切り、そして呪力を込めた攻撃、どちらもあの法陣が回転した後にだ。フルのこととあの法陣は完全な循環と調和を意味する。推し量るに、この式神の能力はあらゆる事象への適応、最強の後出し無試験。
Okay, so it would adapt to Gojo if Gojo was here.
見せてくれたな、伏黒めぐみ。領域展開。福間水氏。
Okay, the thing he's been doing inside, now on the outside.
これは他とは異なり、結界で空間を分断しない。結界を閉じず聖徳領域を具現化することは、キャンバスを用いず空に絵を描くに等しい。まさに神業。加えて相手に逃げ道を与えるという縛りにより、底上げされた必中効果範囲は最大半径200メートルに及ぶ。伏黒めぐみへの栄光を考慮し、効果範囲を半径140メートル、地上のみに絞る。
I guess the actuality of guaranteed hit. For half a second, I was hoping that was the two girls, even though they were dead.
少 ナの斬撃は2種類。必中効果範囲内の呪力を帯びたものには8、呪力のないものには回。
So he's the guy from My Hero Academia.
絶え間なく浴びせられる。唯一のマコラの破り方。初見の技にて敵を前にほふる。8はその条件を満たしているが、適応が回ではなく斬撃そのものに。
Well, I'm assuming that's what he did when he pushed his head back into place and then regenerated again. God, this place is fucked.
Makoraの再戦が終わろうとしていた。
Oh, yeah, because we haven't done this before. So fucked it up with the dismantle, and then hit it with a new attack that would destroy it completely. For the first time. Would I still be alive, hypothetical me that was down in the subway? Oh, are we back? Are we back? Oh, I guess we were back for a second.
やっぱ俺は運がいい。今日も生き延びた。あ。
重物蓄えた奇跡は七海健人との戦闘で使い果たしていた。
Well, okay, so those were faded lines on his face.
そろそろだな。
fushiguro。今一瞬見えたのは虎杖。いや、宿儺なのか。
小僧、せいぜい噛みしめろ。
Do we just repeat the same scene? You get fucking cubed. You watched the movie Cube, you know what that is. Oh, right. Oh, these are all the memories. He was in there. Yeah. I know it's weird that that's my moment for the scene, but literally pain from Naruto. Grand push, I think. Is that a dome? Somebody save themselves with a dome? Ah, god damn it. I wanted them to live. There's one red light on that building.
行かなきゃ。戦わなきゃ。
Grr. I fucking hate that.
このままじゃ俺はただの人殺しだ。
Would you? Well, technically, I guess. I mean, it's not more of a mass murder. Because I'm assuming you're considering the murderer to be everybody in all those buildings. Oh, what the? Just overtime didn't work that time.
577次回リヒ見ないと白熊になっちゃうぞ。所詮畜生か。
Jesus. Sorry, when I say the visceral quality of that, that very much reminds me of the Chunin exams in Naruto, when Naruto digs his way under his opponent to uppercut him, and then they very much show his fingers and how he's like was digging out his fingernails under the ground, and they're just like bloody little things. And I very much get that feeling. I mean, that's just like to me, but I very much get that feeling when I'm looking at Yuji and he's scraping his fingers against the ground and blood is just all over. And it's like, it's very easy for me to watch people getting like sliced up and everything. Again, if you've never seen Cube, watch like the first minute and a half of Cube for just the very first trap in Cube, and it'll be easy for you to understand how I can just watch people like their faces sliced off like that, because that's just a normal thing. Finger torture, fingernail torture, that kind of shit, that like war crimes level shit that you do to people. It's like, oh, that's a different thing. That's a very real thing. I don't know what to say about this episode. This was an amazing spectacle. And I really appreciated all the different types of art styles that were at play here. Like, when, God, I don't know what to call the thing. The wheel guy, when he hit the water and he's underwater, he had a very different art style than what the rest of the fight was being portrayed as. And the whole fight was essentially a mob psycho fight, right? Like, what was it? At the end of season 2? I want to say the end of season 2 fight. That was this, but with an element of like Naruto's grand push. Sorry, pain from Naruto's grand push, where he completely destroys the vast majority of the hidden village in like just one go. Same thing. Well, not exactly the same thing, but I mean, same effect. Like, that place is gone. And the element of, sorry, if you don't know, even though I've said this a number of times, I'm live streaming this on Fridays at 11 a.m. EST. So I looked off towards the comments for a quick second and saw, please, can you read the comment? So that's what hit me as funny. Again, for me, it's the element of, I don't know how this guy would have defeated Gojo, because it doesn't feel like, I know it's not how this guy would have defeated Gojo. There was a guy in the past who had Gojo's powers to the level that Gojo does. And I don't know how this guy defeats Gojo. Like, I can understand how they get themselves into a standoff. Like, Gojo uses his 3 different power sets, and the guy adapts to them, but then, so Gojo wouldn't be able to beat it, but I don't see any way in hell this thing gets past infinity to be able to defeat Gojo. It'd just be, like, an infinite standoff. Anyway, I said I wasn't gonna, but let me open up this notepad to see Alex's comment from the movie as it applies to whatever happened at the end or after episode 17, which I guess is technically this. Hi, Theta. This is a post-reaction comment. Warning, please read it at the end of episode 17 of the second season. Now, I can tell you the reasons for your two questions. I'm going to paraphrase them a little. 1. Why did they portray Nobara as weak in her fight against Haruta, the blonde, long-haired guy with the sword hand? If we know that she is quite strong. Well, as the narrator says, Haruta's technique Miracle erases from his memory the small miracles or the little bits of luck from the everyday life that he experiences and saves it in marks under his eyes. That luck is then released when Haruta's life is in danger, but it's not only that. They left out parts for the pacing. Haruta is luckier than the average person. Let's say that he'd find more coins on the street than you and I, or that he would always win at Russian roulette. Just quick interjection here. If Miracle activates when he would die, that would mean that he wouldn't be saving miracles from Russian roulette. That miracle would be activating during Russian roulette, which means he would be losing his luck, not saving it. Anyway. Which constantly results in a greater advantage for him in his fights, especially mid or long distance opponents. For example, someone tripping while chasing him, or what happened with Nobara, where she couldn't hit him, or when Haruta threw his sword, hitting her in the chin, which made her brain bounce and left her momentarily stunned. That's why I mentioned that it was a bad matchup for Nobara. Only when his normal luck is surpassed by the reality of the bad situation is when a miracle is released and he is saved. Like what happened when the ceiling fell on him, but didn't hit him, or surviving Nanami's attacks with little damage. Note, this is not part of this point, but it corresponds to it since I forgot to mention it at the time. A similar situation of a bad matchup is that of Choso v. Yuji for Choso, because if Yuji wasn't containing Sukuna, Choso would have won the first moment his blood pierced Yuji, because his blood, like his brother's, is poisonous. However, Yuji is immune to poison by containing Sukuna, as mentioned in Season 1, Episode 24. I don't remember that, but they did get into a fight with those brothers where the blood was a thing, so obviously that must have been something that happened, because I believe, what's her name, does get infected by the blood, and he is able to, yeah, okay, makes sense, I can parse that out. Again, though, I don't know where the luck comes into play with the fact that she just didn't nail his sword to the ground. My entire problem wasn't the fact that she was getting her ass kicked. It was the element that she wasn't doing things that seemed natural to her to do. Like, again, if she does it later, where she nails his sword to the ceiling, if she had done that at the beginning of the fight, as I'm saying, my problem isn't that it was a bad matchup or the power I didn't know that he had was coming into a play. It's the element that she just didn't do the one thing. Again, that's my problem with that fight. She didn't do the one thing. 2. Toji didn't sense Jogo or Sukuna's presence. Why did he still go after Megumi even after sensing them? Well, the Shikigami is the reason. Similar to Sukuna, Toji sensed Megumi's ace up his sleeve. The Divine General Mahoroga is the trump card of the Ten Shadows technique, and as we could see, he was able to keep up with 15 Fingers Sukuna, and in the show history, defeat someone like Gojo. Sorry, this is a name I'm good at saying. Maharaga has the ability to adapt to any phenomenon and overcome it. Think of him as something similar to Doomsday from DC, well, except that Doomsday would come back from the dead. So, as you saw, Sukuna's cutting attacks were no longer effective on him, and that's why he had to use that fire attack. Note, I think now we know the reason why Sukuna was so interested in Megumi. Except, why would he still be interested in Megumi? Well, hold on. I was about to say, why would he still be interested in Megumi? If he's defeated the thing, and now that the thing no longer exists, Megumi no longer has the ace up his sleeve. But I have to, I'm doubling down and defeating my own thoughts in my head before I say them out loud. So every time I say, well, that's me thinking about an argument, defeating the argument. My idea was going to be that he said early on that once one of his little summon creatures, his Shikigamis, get defeated, that power then gets distributed to all the other Shikigami, so all of his other Shikigami become stronger. So I was thinking for a moment, why would he still be interested in Megumi? Well, if this thing's power then got distributed to all of his other Shikigami, that would be a thing. But then there was the element they said at the beginning that this thing is not part of his repartee, in that he doesn't have it subjugated like he does his other Shikigami. So the implication to me therein is that when this thing gets defeated, its power does not get distributed to the other Shikigami, like previously stated. So, in that sense, then yes, the question remains, why would Sukuna still be interested if Megumi no longer has that power? So, yeah. If he defeated the thing, he should then be like, Megumi's of no use to me, and kill him. Because now the trump card, the most powerful thing Megumi has, is now gone. Implying that all Megumi Hal has left is his normal Shikigami stuff. I guess unless the show pulls something else out that we don't know about, right? So, I guess that's always possible, that the show has constantly got more stuff to pull. I mean, there's also the fact that Sukuna could just eat more fingers. Like, he defeated the thing at not full strength. Was that over 10, below 15 fingers? He can just eat the last 5 fingers wherever they are and get to full strength and be stronger than Megumi's thing. So, yeah. Not full strength Sukuna defeated it. So I just don't get the point. You might as well stay with the thing you've got, which is already stronger. I mean, technically, again, my thing would be get into Toji's body, but Toji's dead. So, if there was a way that you could use summoned Toji and put your strength into that body, I guess that would be my ultimate Sukuna. Fun fact, if you think back, Megumi has tried to use this Shikigami multiple times throughout the first season. In episode 1 and 2, with the first incarnation of Sukuna, in episode 5 during the prison arc against Sukuna when he took over Yuji, in episode 18 against Hanami in the school event arc, and in episode 23 against Finger Bearer of the Bridge. The element of not knowing about it precludes my ability to have thought about it as a thing. Also, I think it would have been fucking insane if he had done it in episode 1 and 2. Right? Like, obviously I think that would have worked back then, but how much freaking damage would it have done to, everything? Yeah, whole school's dead. Everyone in the countryside dead. Put that in your school report. Anyway, this episode is where the explanations for Megumi's technique end. Is there anything you would like me to clarify or explain? I will post it in the next reaction if it is too long. I mean, I've said it all out loud. My thought process is one of stream of consciousness. I might end up writing something, like a note or something, about this episode if I think about it. Might not. Either way, the idea is there. I think I've said everything out loud so far. 3 terrifying fun facts about Sukuna in this episode. After spending so much time inside Yuji and seeing his favorite hobby of watching movies while eating popcorn and soda, Sukuna became curious about the taste of these, but when he tried them, he didn't like them. But not because they were bad, but because Sukuna is a cannibal, so his taste is more refined for the flavor of human flesh. I don't know. Depends on what kind of popcorn you're eating, right? The saltiness of human flesh versus the saltiness of corn? Sukuna was only free for just 15 minutes, and more than 5,000 people died in his confrontation with Jogo and Sorry, I haven't said the name in like a second. Mahorga? Yeah. Like I said, it was a Mob Psycho fight. Except that Mob Psycho was able to prevent all of those people from dying. I would be interested now in seeing a death battle between Mob and Sukuna. Because I think I don't know. There might be an element at play here that I am not as researched. Obviously, I don't know Sukuna's full strength. And obviously, Sukuna has that instant hit thing of a 200-meter wide, or was it 400-meter wide, domain with no bubble. But Mob is basically like God. And also, Mob is kind of like same creator as One Punch Man, right? So he is in that sphere of he gets as much power as he needs to win. So I don't know. It's just the interesting bit of Sukuna's fight here and Mob's fight from season 2, season ending, is essentially the same scale, same level. Like lifted up the city and threw it at each other kind of stuff. It would be an amazing visual spectacle, at the very least. A few questions. I don't remember you mentioning it, but what was your position regarding Yuji's situation? His execution, I mean. His execution. Do you mean how he did a thing? Or how he was killed? Because he's not dead. You mean the end of the episode thing? How he reacted to what was going on? Because, I mean, like, the memory flashback is a thing, certainly. Oh, you mean... Yeah, I was thinking that during the finale there. Because the idea is that we're going to get Yuji to eat as many fingers as possible up to the point that he can maintain Sukuna, and then we're going to execute him. Because the plan has always been to kill Yuji. We've known that forever now. It's just, when are we going to do it? And, you know, the more in charge Sukuna gets over the body, the harder it's going to become. And I guess the thing coming to my head here is the element of the fact that Sukuna made a deal with Yuji to take over the body for what, like 5 minutes, did he say? I can't remember. For 5 minutes, and that he wouldn't kill anybody. So the idea in my head now is that if they try to execute Yuji, Sukuna always has that back door open to save himself, even if Yuji doesn't want him to. I don't remember if that was like a one-off deal or not, but if it's not a one-off deal, if he can do it at any time, so long as he doesn't kill anybody, Sukuna can take over and ensure that they don't execute Yuji. So that's always going to be in play now in my head. Because otherwise, yeah, the idea was always that Yuji was going to die at some point. So that's the expectation. But now that Sukuna is strong enough and made that deal, I don't know where it goes, because the only person that could possibly do it would be, what, Gojo? And that's just going to lead to a Sukuna v Gojo fight, right? In which case, I don't know. I don't know. There's too many variables here. It'd be interesting to see Sukuna versus Gojo, but the fact that we just saw Sukuna be the thing that was supposed to be able to defeat a Gojo ancestor. If you were in the position of the principals or the higher-ups knowing that this was a situation that was going to happen sooner or later, which side would you be on? Immediate execution or postponement of the sentence? What, hold on, let me scroll down on my list here. Maybe I've got it on the Kyoto. I think I'd be in the Kyoto side. Kyoto side would have been kill Yuji immediately. Old rocker dude, right? That's Kyoto High School, if I'm right. And he was all about kill Yuji immediately. Don't do this whole plan thing, because obviously, if you think about this logically, Yuji is a weird special case that he has the ability to hold a number of fingers in him. But the standard case is normal person eats the finger and dies, which would then imply that Sukuna has a very low probability of being able to, I don't know what you call it, avatar his way into the world again. Which means that what we need to do is kill everybody. Like, we need to send Gojo out to literally kill everybody who has the opportunity to eat a finger and hold Sukuna in them. Because if we kill everybody that has that power, Sukuna will never come back, because he'll never have a host. I get the idea that if we let Yuji eat all the fingers, that'll get rid of the fingers, and that Sukuna will be killed for good. But I think holding Sukuna off by not having a body to do it in is equally as good of a plan, especially if you're collecting the fingers and putting them into a place that you think nobody can get to. Obviously, beginning of season 2, we show that that place isn't as secure as you think it is. But then again, there was a lot of different places in that place, so you could have spread that all out instead of, one secret compartment. Yeah, no, I would have been on Kyoto's side, which is kill them immediately. Also, any questions about Sukuna in this episode? And as I've said, since I'm reading this out at the end of the episode, everything I've said so far is everything I've said so far. So, again, I'm a stream of consciousness kind of person when it comes to all of this. So that is where we are at. So yeah, that has been Alex's comment. Again, pointedly, this is his comment from the movie made on YouTube to hit me up as I was about to watch episode 17 today. So I guess good planning on your behalf, Alex, to have this prepared for me to read when I did. Otherwise, I think that is it for this episode. Again, this episode was a visual spectacle, but it comes into the same realm of like heavy emotional things for me. Heavy emotions and visual spectacles are things that I enjoy, but I don't have that much to talk about, really. It was very interesting to me. I think, again, I mentioned it before, when the big bad goes into the water and changes art style completely, because this was a good version of the pain fight from Naruto, where the pain fight, for some reason, they became cartoon characters halfway through the pain fight, and it was very off-putting, very bad to watch. And this it feels like they did completely different art styles, but none of them were so jarring as to take you out of what you were watching. In fact, just felt like different visuals that still fit into the place. Otherwise, yeah, as I said, that's about it for me on this episode. So, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?